Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello. Welcome to Free Photo Tip Fridays. Look who's back in the studio. We have Alicia here live with us in the studio. We are getting ready for our exciting weekend. Warrior Weekend starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have been working so hard getting ready for this. I literally didn't get ready until 2 seconds ago. Put on some makeup for you guys.
Same.
So I'm super excited about this week. If you joined us on Instagram Live, we have already talked about our great word we're going to bring into our photo tips today. And that word is wonder. Of course, you guys know this means a little bit more than probably most of the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in our brand. It means a lot to what it means to live wonderful. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to our bunch of photo tips I have for you today. But first, I want to talk about Warrior Weekend and give you guys a little heads up on what we have going on. So I'm going to bring up the website and just show you a couple things. And then I want to show you 10 awesome photos that I put together for an art show a few years ago that really, really resemble what it means to live in wonder. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and then let's just do the whole screen, and I'm going to bring up. Can you guys see our screen good? Let's see. Yep. Perfect. So you head over /Warrior Weekend. Here's what we're starting tomorrow, 9 a.m. We are bringing you our beginner DSLR class first, which I think many of you who join us here for Free Photo Tip Fridays, maybe you're already off auto mode. So before I go into the other classes, I always forget to say this. If you've already taken our beginner class, you get free access to a refresher. You can come join us tomorrow for free for the beginner class if you sign up for one of our advanced classes. So if you've been through our beginner class, you are ready for these other classes. So 9 a.m. starts with beginner DSLR tomorrow. And then in the afternoon, we're doing our advanced DSLR. And we're going to be teaching you guys how to take great portraits, HDR, and pano shots. Alicia's been putting together the PDF this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving you a little cheat sheet about all of that. And then on Sunday, tell them what we have on Sunday, Alicia.
Sunday from 9 to 12, we're going to be doing the beginner photo editing in Lightroom, and we'll learn how to organize and edit photos. You know, fundamentals are key to this program.
Yes, to keeping it efficient, right? Getting the workflow.
Absolutely. So we'll help you with a little bit of a workflow and understanding the basics of this class, this program. And then a little later in the afternoon from 1 to 3, we're going to do an advanced photo retouching class. In that, we will be taking the HDR and panoramic images and learning how to merge those together, and then learning about the retouching tools that actually help enhance your portrait. So
think about like that airbrushing look that still looks natural, but
not too much.
Yeah, I call it refreshing, not retouching.
Yeah, so we have the best tips and advice to go about editing and post-production.
Exactly.
So this is amazing if you want to take your photos to the next level.
And anybody who's taken any sort of classes and loves photography, even with your iPhone, know that Adobe Lightroom is just first and foremost a great place to keep your photos organized. So even if you're not sure if you're going to get into the photo editing, which we highly recommend,
absolutely.
It's still a great program to learn. That beginner class is going to teach you how to just get your photos organized and flag them, pick out your favorites, and at least learn how to quickly retouch. So you can learn more about them on the website. I have a discount code for you guys. Use the code IMAWarrior in checkout, all uppercase.
Same word.
You will get $20 off each and every class that you join. So just keep that in mind, not $20 off for the whole thing, but each class. If you want to join us for the whole weekend, you're also going to get all the video replays, okay? So
if you can't make the class, then
you're still going to get all the content.
You're going to get
forever. So hope you guys can join us starting tomorrow. We're going to get a good night's sleep tonight so we can have fun and enjoy this 6 hours of content on Saturday and then 6 on Sunday. While we're getting into our free photo tips today, let us know if you guys have any questions, okay? We're here, we're in front of our computers, working all day today. So if you guys have any questions about those classes, let us know. All right, let's dive in to these awesome photos about wonder. So let me just check as you guys are on. I want to make sure I can see you coming in there. Okay, good, you're in there. So as I'm showing you guys these photos, I'm going to flip through them quickly, and then I just want to point something out while you're looking at them. Not a single one did I know what I was going to be doing a second before I took the shot. So we have some questions. We're going to kind of go over to kind of spark your curiosity and make you think about this word wonder and what it means to our visual stories.
Well, first, I kind of want to, this all started with Danielle and her travels, her worldly travels. And so where did the meaning of live wonderful come from?
Well, travel was huge for me, probably even before the camera was. I think the camera started to become, before the idea of live wonderful was the thing in my head, the idea of bringing a camera along on my travels was the easiest way to just live in wonder. It's easy for me to say that now. It didn't mean that way to begin with, but it just meant live like a kid. Be imaginative, be willing to just be in the moment. And the camera gave me a chance to just kind of make that my excuse, right? Like I really have to think too hard. I can just play and have fun with whatever I'm doing and feel creative. I didn't know for years that it was going to turn into such a big part of my life. So it wasn't until a big trip overseas, living out of a backpack, only having one camera, one lens, where I really forced myself to immerse into visual storytelling. And this is a collection, guys, that I did for an art show a couple years ago. And the show was simply titled Her, H-E-R. And it was 3 photographers. We all had completely different techniques and styles. And we were given free reign. So it was so ironic that I came back to 10 pictures. Here, I'll flip through them. That none of them are from the same place. Well, these 2 are actually. But they're from all over the world. You can't really tell where. Maybe some of them are kind of iconic. You can tell where they are. But they all, on their own, without thinking about it, I was living in that sense of playful, childish wonderment every time. It was that moment before where I went, you know that feeling, right? Sure. So what do you feel when you kind of look at these? And I know, Alicia, you've seen these before. But does any one stand out to you more than the other that's like catches your eye and makes you kind of curious? The other word I want to think about, guys, is the word curious. So you might not know all these stories, but is there anyone that kind of stands out to you that you think, how did you get that? How are the settings, or what are the settings? And you guys too who are listening in, if you have any questions about the settings themselves, because like I said, right before I shot them, I didn't really know. I had to think about it. I had to put myself in that moment to know, what are the settings? What am I going to shoot with?
I mean, I love them all in their own way. And I would have had my own sense of wonder in these, experiences like you.
Which one's from your home?
Oh, the last one.
Oh yeah,
this is by far probably my favorite because I emotionally connect to this one specifically. Yeah. This is, the North End in Boston, Mass, and it's one of the oldest, I'd say, historic. It's got a lot of history. Of Boston,
of our country too.
Yeah, you're right. And some of the buildings are still standing there from I I think
1800s,
yeah,
1700s.
1700s. So
It's one of the oldest parts of our country. And I was actually on like a personal little tour with my cousin, getting that, immersion into the history. So she thought it was funny that she was used to seeing those buildings. She kind of breezed by them. And I'm like, Lynn, look at this cool building. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the ground on my belly, looking up with the wide angle lens.
I'm sure you felt kind of awkward too in that moment. Like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm getting the shot. But sometimes who cares? You got to live in that wonder, as we're calling it.
Yeah.
And go for it. And who cares what people think?
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing is, I just realized all of these places, all of these shots, this was the first time I'd ever stood there. So when you feel awkward or uncomfortable or out of place, I immediately go to not only who cares, but I may never see this again, or this is so new to me. I've never seen this with my own eyes, and I want to remember what this feels like.
Yeah.
Rachel's asking, the bridge shot is fantastic, as in the night garden shot. Oh, bridge shot.
How much of the shots are photoshopped or edited? I mean, they're all edited.
Yeah, so that's a great question. We just talked about the Lightroom editing class we're doing on Sunday. Every single great shot that you look at and connect with from any professional photographer, I can guarantee you 100% it has been edited. Photoshop, probably not. I know a lot of photographers, including myself, do use Photoshop when needed. I use it a lot.
Only use it when needed. Like, if I have to take something out of the shot or put it into the shot, like
like a head swap.
Yeah,
and I'll do head swap or Photoshop. But Lightroom is the key to editing. So we're going to be showing you guys some before and afters and actually demonstrating how we use Lightroom really efficiently and kind of effortlessly when you see, what matters and what doesn't, what really makes them pop. But even before we emphasize the need to edit, the key to knowing like how much editing do I do? How do I keep it realistic? Yeah, Rachel said it. I want to understand, but to what degree? The key to that is the feeling you connected to in the moment that made you want to tell the story in the first place. So here's how you know, as the viewer of these shots, the one interpreting these stories, ask yourself, what does your eye see first? Alicia, when you look at the shot, what do you go to first? I go to the cars. But do you see?
Sometimes I go to the skyline first.
Yeah,
too.
The city is iconic, right? We all know that's New York, Manhattan, looking from the Brooklyn side.
But yes, you're drawn to the warmth of that bridge and the cars, the motion,
movement of the cars, right? So here's what I want to tell you guys about what it felt like to stand here on the Brooklyn Bridge. No, I'm not on the rafters. This is a bike path you can stand on. I did not know the second before shooting this, I did not know there were even cars below me. I had walked halfway across that bridge, heard the rumbling, was too focused on what was outside in the Hudson River and getting Liberty. Didn't even dawn on me that there were cars below me. So I had to step into the moment and then pull myself to the edge and look through my lens. And as soon as I looked through my lens down at those lights, I was immediately attracted to the orange in the bridge. So when I finally took this picture into Lightroom to edit, those feelings had to be there to know to what degree do I want to edit this photo. No, my camera did not catch the intensity of the orange that my eyes saw. But that's one of the things we're going to teach you with HDR photography too, which this is not an HDR image. This is shot in RAW, which does allow you to extract much more of those details and the color that is captured. But when you shoot in RAW, your image on the back of your screen is going to look dull. And the reason for that is it's actually a collection of all the information at once. So imagine the darkest of the oranges and the brightest of those oranges all being melded together. It's kind of like taking every color, mixing it together in art class. And what color do you get? Brown, right? Dull. So a raw image does need to be edited, and our goal is to show you how to edit it just so effortlessly and so correctly that you get that immense feeling of what it felt like to be there in that moment and see it. And that skyline, our eyes see in HDR. We see a lot more range of color and light, and so that was my goal.
I think, you know, color is attractive in any form. It's attractive. So you want to bring colors out too. To what degree? I mean, we always suggest to not over edit your photos.
No, yeah.
You know, we always want to just put a touch to it to make it pop, to make it realistic, real as life. So,
and we don't saturate. Okay. So when we're talking about editing, at no point are these pictures oversaturated, right? When we're talking about emphasizing color, we are looking at the parts of our images and saying, what color matters to my story, to that feeling? And to me, it was, oh my God, look how orange and bright those lights look. Because all I saw was dark sky and blue water until I felt those feeling of those cars under me. I hope, you know, I just realized I have a couple bridge shots. I'm hoping, Rachel, that was the bridge shot you meant, because I'm looking over here, I'm like, this is a bridge, but it's more of a pier. So I hope that was the bridge shot you meant. And you mentioned the night shot, the garden shot.
This one is so interesting to me because, I mean,
so
it may.
What catches your eye here? Where does your eye go first?
The shadows. To me, the shadows catch me, but it just kind of moves up. I love the sky. I am in love with, you know, the stars at night. So I love going outside and seeing all these things and letting my eyes adjust, you know, to the darkness.
That's true. So
yeah, this is a beautiful kind of, I want to be in the middle of like a farm, just hanging out, looking at the stars. And that's the sense of wonder I always live in. This
was a moment of, again, I didn't know I'd be taking the shot. I literally, guys, was just 2 seconds before at a campfire with family. It's like 20 feet behind me. And you know what the sense of wonder was I got? I'm afraid of the dark. I literally was like, oh, I'm like spooked out right now. I'm on a farm. My eyes were adjusting. I could see the stars, but what is the one piece of light that is too much in this shot? You see the spotlight pointing to the hills in the right side of the picture. So this is an HDR photograph, which Rachel's asking, how is the garden lit but the stars are still clear? So let's talk about the settings for a minute. If you want to get stars, you got to keep your shutter speed open, right? But that garden is not lit up because my shutter speed is open. That garden would still be pretty dark if it weren't for the lights on the ground or on the barn behind that tree, okay? So when I was sitting at the campfire, I could see the light on the barn and I could see the light in the trees. And I had to move my body in such a way that it would catch the shadows by blocking that light. And now that light that's casted on the garden, the yard, is subdued. It's not blasting into my camera lens like a flashlight, right? So it's allowing that slow shutter speed to soften the light on the bottom, but still affect the stars. I think I was probably at 10-second shutter speed. And then I took a separate shot to get the field in the background that was still way too bright, right? It is layered. And the layering is simply quick HDR combination in Lightroom, which is something we're going to be teaching this weekend with but I want to make sure you understand it's not layered that I took the stars from one shot and just copied them into another picture.
Which you can do.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
people do it.
It's called composites, okay? And that's an amazing, there's where you need some Photoshop. Yes. But guys, this is not a composite. And I want to get back to something you said, your eyes had to adjust. Something we have to keep in mind as visual storytellers, our camera doesn't see light the same way our own eyes do. So as your eyes are adjusting, we're not just adjusting so we can see, we're adjusting and going, those stars are actually super bright. What shutter speed should I start at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I block this light, I can create shadows on the ground. Now my composition looks really symmetrical, right? We're going through all those, the 5 steps to photo success we always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We're going through them as our eyes are adjusting to the light and getting curious about the scene. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what my settings were going to be. There are moments, there's time to get present, to find that sense of wonder and go, where is this story leading me? What is this feeling I'm getting? And how can I emphasize it? You mentioned shadows, right? Your eyes go to the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
That helps me tell the feeling of, I'm afraid of the dark right now.
Yeah. A lot of people fear the dark, but this photo made me feel comfortable.
That's true. Kind of like it's a little bit easier to take in the darkness. Yeah. Great questions. Great. Does anyone have any other questions about these shots? We're going to be actually, this picture we're going to be editing on Sunday and talking about how we did the before and after for that shot. This is actually a part of a panoramic shot, which is another thing we're going to be showing you guys how to do. If anybody's interested in understanding lenses, we're going to be talking about that a lot too. There aren't any portrait shots in here, but those of you who know us know that Alicia and I love people and love shooting people. So we're going to be talking about what it means to have a zoom and a portrait lens versus what you're seeing on a lot of these are wide angle shots. I hope you guys can join us this weekend. If you guys have any other questions about these shots, you can always reach us at hello@livewonderful.com. Do you have anything else to add about a sense of wonder, how we can bring wonder into our storytelling?
Yeah, I mean, just be present. That's how I look at it, define it, to be present, to see the little things, to capture whatever inspires you.
And we have to take a moment to step back and not think, but feel about those things, right? Like, what does inspire me? I don't know. I need to be curious about something to kind of spark that interest. So
yeah, absolutely.
Get your cameras out, guys. Maybe go try out some of these tips and settings we talked about today. Join us tomorrow.
Yes, so excited.
Live Wonderful, or Warrior Weekend starts tomorrow. You can go to livewonderful.com/Warrior Weekend to learn more. I'll put that right in here into our chat box. You can click right on it. And then don't forget, guys, $20 off, okay? So I Am a Warrior will get you $20 off each class, okay? So join us this weekend. And even if you can't make the live classes, you guys are gonna get the video replays to keep and rewind and pause and do whatever you want with forever. You're also gonna get the entire presentation, which is about 100 pages of information. And don't forget, guys, we got our awesome, infamous photo field guide, or what Alicia likes to call the photo Bible.
Yes,
there's our Instagram handle, Rachel.
Wonderful, sorry. There you go.
It's Live Wonderful with an underscore. So anyone who joins us this weekend, you guys are gonna get a free photo cheat sheet as well as a keyboard shortcut. So check that out. We look forward to seeing you guys. Have a wonderful, awesome weekend. We're gonna have a great time now that I have my best friend here in town. Thanks everyone for coming on here live. We'll be posting all of this on our YouTube video, so you can always check these out again too. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait, let's do it this way. Ready?
Bye
everyone.
Bye.
Sorry. Bye.